Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in Triply Department, working in ISL Engineering College. So, previous classes we have seen about the steady state stability and transient stability of power system analysis. Today we are going to see about the equal area criterion concept. So what is equal area criterion? It is a simple graphical method for concluding the transient stability of two machine systems or single machine against an infinite bus. Okay, we are going to plot a graph between delta and time, between some angle and time, and we are going to see whether when the system is stable and unstable, okay, in this equal area criterion characteristics. So, equal area criterion is a simple graphical method for concluding the transient stability of two machine systems or a single machine against an infinite bus. So, this principle will not require swing equation for determination of stability conditions. Stability conditions are recognized by equating the areas of segments on the power angle diagram between P curve and the new power transfer line of the given curve. So, in a system where one machine is swinging with respect to infinite bus, it is possible to study transient stability by means of simple equal area criterion without resorting to the numerical solution of swing equation. Okay, we are not actually solving the swing equation in a step-by-step way in this equal area criterion. So, when we are considering a case of a machine swinging with respect to an infinite bus, and we are studying the transient stability with the help of this equal area criterion. So, the principle of this method consists on the basis that when delta oscillates around the equilibrium point with constant amplitude, transient stability will be maintained. Okay, so what we are telling here that delta is nothing but angle here. Okay, so when delta oscillates around the equilibrium point with a constant amplitude, transient stability will be maintained. So let us consider the swing equation. D square delta by dt square is equal to 1 by m Pm minus Pe, that is Pa by m. Pa is what here? Accelerating power, and m is equal to h by pi f in per unit system. Or d square delta by dt square is equal to 1 by m Pm minus Pe, Pa by Pm. So we are plotting a graph delta versus t. So this is showing the dark line is showing the stable part, and here from here onwards it is stable, and from here to here it is unstable. Okay, and this is the point of d delta by dt is equal to 0. If the system is unstable, delta continues to increase indefinitely with time and the machine loses its synchronism. And if the system is stable, delta t performs oscillations whose amplitude decreases in actual practice because of damping terms. So these two situations we can see it in this diagram. So since the system is non-linear, the nature of its response, that is delta t, is not unique, and it may exhibit instability in a fashion different from that which is indicated in this figure, depending upon the nature and severity of disturbance. However, experience indicates that the response delta t in a power system generally falls in the two broad categories. So we can see those categories here, that is stable and unstable categories. Okay. So for a stable system, indication of stability will be given by observation of the first swing, where delta will go to a maximum and will start to reduce. So this fact can be stated as a stability criterion, that the system is stable if at some point d delta by dt is equal to 0. So this one. So system is stable when d delta by dt is equal to 0, and unstable if d delta by dt is greater than 0. Okay. So what we are taking here, that d delta by dt is 0, then system is stable, and d delta by dt is greater than 0, system is unstable. For a sufficiently long time, that is more than 1 second. The stability criterion for power systems, which we have stated above, can be converted into a simple and easily applicable form for a single machine infinite bus system. So multiplying the both sides of swing equation by 2 d delta by dt, that is 2 times d delta by dt, multiplying the swing equations on both sides. So 2 into d delta by dt into d square delta by dt square is equal to 2 pa by m d delta by dt. So integrating this equation, we are going to get d delta by dt whole square is 2 by m integral delta naught to delta pa d delta, or d delta by dt is equal to 2 by m integral delta naught to delta pa d delta whole power half, where delta naught is the initial rotor angle before it begins to swing due to disturbance. So from these equations, that is d delta by dt greater than 0 and d delta by dt is 2 by m integral delta naught to delta pa d delta whole power half. The condition for stability can be written as 2 by m integral delta naught to delta pa d delta whole power half is equal to 0, or integral delta naught to delta pa d delta is equal to 0. The condition of stability can therefore be stated as the system is stable if the area under Pa, that is accelerating power. What is Pa here? Accelerating power, and delta curve reduces to 0 at some value of delta. So what is the condition for stability? That the area under Pa, that is Pa delta curve, Pa is accelerating power and delta is angle. Okay, so the area under Pa delta curve reduces to 0 at some value of delta. In other words, the positive area under Pa delta curve must be equal negative area, and hence the name equal area criterion. So positive area should be equal to the negative area under Pa delta curve. So it is called as equal area criterion. Okay, I hope this concept of equal area is clear. So this is the condition for equal area criterion, that is integral delta naught to delta Pa d delta is equal to 0, or we can write it in the form of words as area under Pa delta curve should reduce to 0 at some value of delta, or we can say that the positive area under Pa delta curve must be equal to the negative area, and then the positive area is called accelerating area and the negative area is called decelerating area. So accelerating area should be equal to the decelerating area, then it is called as equal area criterion of stability. So to illustrate the equal area criterion of stability, we will consider several types of disturbances that may occur in a single machine infinite bus bar system. So let us see in today's class first condition, that is sudden change in mechanical input. So this figure showing the transient model of a single machine tied to infinite bus bar. Electrical power transmitted will be given by P is equal to mod E dash mod V by XD dash plus XC sin delta, that is P max sin delta. Under steady operating condition, PMO is equal to PEO is equal to P max sin delta naught. So this will be indicated by point A in the PE delta diagram. Now let the mechanical input to the rotor is suddenly increased to PM1 by opening the steam valve. So accelerating power Pa will be equal to PM1 minus Pe, causes the rotor speed to increase. That is omega will be greater than omega s, and so does the rotor angle. So at angle delta 1, Pa is equal to PM1 is equal to Pe, that is equal to P max sin delta 1 equal to 0, but the rotor angle continues to increase as omega is greater than omega s. So Pa now becomes negative, the rotor speed begins to reduce but the angle continues to increase till at angle delta 2, omega is equal to omega s once again, and the decelerating area A2 will equal accelerating area A1, that is integral delta naught to delta 2 Pa d delta is equal to 0. Okay. So these two areas A1 is equal to A2, then we are going to get the condition for equal area criterion. Since the rotor is decelerating, the speed will reduce below omega s and the rotor angle begins to reduce. The state point now transfers the PE delta curve in opposite direction. So as shown in the figure, it is easily seen that system oscillate about the new steady state point, that is delta equal to delta 1 with angle exertion up to delta naught and delta 2 on the two sides. So these oscillations are similar to the simple harmonic motion of an inertia spring system, except that these are not sinusoidal. As the oscillations decay out because of inherent system damping, the system will settle to the new steady state where Pm1 is equal to Pe is equal to Pmax sin delta 1. So A1 and A2 areas we can write from the graph that A1 is equal to integral delta naught to delta 1. Okay, A1 is integral delta naught to delta 1 Pm1 minus Pe and d delta. A2 is equal to integral delta 1 to delta 2 Pe minus Pm1. So for the system to be stable, it should be possible to find delta 2 such that A1 is equal to A2. As Pm1 is increased, a limiting condition is finally reached where A1 is equals the area above Pm1 line. So under this condition, delta 2 acquires the maximum value such that delta 2 is delta max pi minus delta 1, that is pi minus sin inverse Pm1 by Pmax. So any further increase in Pm1 means that area available for A2 is less than A1, so that the excess kinetic energy causes delta to increase beyond point C, and decelerating power will change over to accelerating power with the system consequently becoming unstable. So it has thus been shown by the use of equal area criterion that there is an upper limit to sudden increase in mechanical input Pm1 minus Pmo for the system in question to remain stable. So from this figure, we can also note down that system will remain stable even though the rotor may oscillate beyond delta equal to 90 degrees, so long as the equal area criterion is met. The condition of delta equal to 90 degrees is meant for use in steady state stability only and does not apply to transient stability case. Okay. So the condition for delta equal to 0, delta equal to 90 degrees, we are using it for only steady state stability, not for transient stability. Next case we are going to see about the effect of clearing time on stability. So let the system, we are considering a system here, this one. So let this system be operating with mechanical input Pm at a steady angle of delta naught, that is Pm is equal to P, that is it will be shown by a point A on P delta diagram. Here point A is showing that if a three-phase fault occurs at the point P of the outgoing radial line, the electrical output of generator instantly will reduce to 0, that is P is equal to 0 and the state point drops to B. So acceleration area A1 begins to increase and so does the rotor angle, while the state point will move to BC. At time Tc corresponding to angle delta C, faulted line will be cleared by the opening of the line circuit breaker. Our values of Tc and delta C will be respectively known as clearing time and clearing angles. Okay, so very important concept here, clearing time and clearing angle. Okay. So system once again will become healthy and transmits P is equal to P max sin delta. That is the state point will shift to D on the original P delta curve and the rotor will now decelerates and the decelerating area A2 will begins while the state point will move DE. So if we can find out an angle delta 1 such that A2 is equal to A1, system is found to be stable. So system finally settles down to the steady operating point A in an oscillating manner because of inherent damping. So you see, this is the delta C is showing the critical angle. A1 and A2 areas are equal here. The value of clearing time will correspond to a clearing angle can be established by numerical integration except in this simple case. So here the equal area criterion will give only qualitative answer to system stability, as the time when the breaker should be opened is hard to establish. So as the clearing of the faulty line is delayed, A1 will increase and a delta 1 will also increase, and it will find that we will find that A2 is equal to A1 till delta 1 is equal to delta max. So as shown in this figure. So for a clearing time or angle larger than this value, system will be unstable, that is A2 is less than A1. Maximum allowable value of the clearing time and angle for the system to remain stable is known as critical clearing time and critical clearing angle. Okay. See, very important. It can be asked for 2 marks in the examination. What is critical clearing time and angle can be asked. So you can say here that maximum allowable value of the clearing time and the angle for the system to remain stable is known as critical clearing time and critical clearing angle. So for this simple case, P is equal to 0 during fault. So we can get the relationship between the delta C and TC. Delta C is critical angle and TC is the critical angle, both are critical time. So we can establish a relationship between these two, and all angles are in radians here. So we can see here that delta max is pi minus delta naught. So and Pm is equal to P max sin delta naught. Now A1 will be equal to integral, by seeing the graph we are writing the equation for A1 and A2. So A1 is equal to integral delta naught to delta critical. Delta Cr is nothing but delta critical here. So A1 is equal to integral delta naught to delta critical Pm minus Pm minus 0 d delta, that is Pm into delta critical minus delta naught. So similarly A2 we can write, A2 will be what? Integral delta critical delta max Pm P max sin delta minus Pm d delta. See, in this diagram we can see. So A1 area is from delta naught to delta critical. A2 area is delta critical to delta max. So these are the limits we are writing from the graph. Okay. So the A2 will be equal to P max cos delta critical minus cos delta max minus Pm delta max minus delta critical. So for the system to be stable, we know the condition that A1 should be equal to A2 or A2 should be equal to A1. So we can now equate these two equations of A1 and A2. A1 was this much and A2 is this much. Okay. Equating these two. So cos delta critical is Pm by P max delta max minus delta naught plus cos delta max, where delta Cr is critical clearing angle. So after substitutions, we are going to get the delta critical as cos inverse of pi minus 2 delta naught sin delta naught minus cos delta naught. So during the period the fault is persisting, the swing equation will be d square delta by dt square is equal to pi f by h into Pm. P is equal to 0 here. So integrating this equation twice. If we are integrating once, we will get d delta by dt. Again integrate, we are going to get delta value. So integrating the above equation twice, we are going to get the value of delta as pi f by 2h Pm t square plus delta naught. Or if I replace delta by critical clearing angle, then I can write time also as critical clearing time. So replacing the above equation delta by delta Cr and t by Tcr. So delta Cr is equal to pi f by 2h Pm Tcr square plus delta naught, where Tcr is critical clearing time and delta Cr is critical clearing angle. Now from this equation we can write the equation for Tcr as under root 2h delta critical minus delta naught by pi f Pm, where delta critical is given by the expression of this one, cos inverse of pi minus 2 delta naught sin delta naught minus cos delta naught. So explicit relationship for determining TCR is possible in this case, as during the faulted condition P is equal to 0, and so the swing equation can be integrated in closed form. So this will not be the case in most other situations. Thank you students. Next class we are going to see about sudden loss of one of the parallel lines, then sudden short circuit on one of the parallel lines. In that way, I have two conditions. One is short circuit at one end of line and short circuit away from line ends. So, and reclosure also. So then we are going to solve some numericals based on this topic. So this is very, very important. You may expect questions here for 2 marks. What is the equal area criterion, or what is critical clearing time and what is critical clearing angle. Or you may expect a question to see, question can be asked as explain the stability of a system when there is a fault at the midpoint of a single machine connected to infinite bus and the power is restored after the fault is cleared by using equal area criterion. So we have to see which formula will be applicable based on our question which is asked in the exam. Then you write answer accordingly. Then you may ask to write a short note on equal area criterion, okay, or you may get a question of finding out the critical clearing angle and critical clearing time also. This also can be asked for long questions. In the long questions, you may get a question of finding out the critical clearing angle and critical clearing time. Okay, thank you students for watching the video. Thank you everyone.